People who lost their job due to this crisis. What is your story? Yeah, I just got hired last week, but I think that my first work day isn't gonna happen. That sucks. Be strong, buddy. I'm a server. I haven't worked since the 14th, but was officially laid off on the 18th. Where I am, temporary layoff is only 60 days. If we are not back by then, we lose our jobs permanently. It couldn't have come at a worse time since we have new management and there's been some murmurs about getting new staff. I was about to lose my apartment. Unrelated, but my landlord phoned me up to let me know that he is no longer making me leave and not to worry about April rent. He also gave me $150 to go buy groceries. He's a bro. I'm trying to get through to which is all online right now, but the site keeps crashing, so I'm unable to make a claim right now. Jesus, your landlord is a hero. My landlord would have helped me pack my bags. I'm sitting in a meeting right now, waiting to get fired. The VP is running late, so that's cool. Edit. They gave us basic info but are talking to everyone individually, so who knows still. Edit 2. Laid off. They can't fire you if you fire them first and take their job. I got a call congratulating me on getting a job 2 days before the hiring freeze went into place at the university I applied to. I never saw my contract, nor do I have any work. Edit. Thank you for the gold. I wish it had been on a cheerier post. We're in this together and we'll get through it together. A step at a time. Look after one another. Be considerate, and be kind to yourselves. Here's hoping this blows over sooner rather than later. Well, sounds familiar. Had a job, but within 20 minutes I found out that A. I had won a large regional company award. B. Congrats. Being furloughed with no pay and no guarantee of a job at the end of it. I was laid off from my 5-year graphic design job, working for a screen printing and promotional products company. About half of our business involves schools, sports, and events. Obviously none of that is happening currently, so our business has stagnated. They are going to try to operate with a skeleton crew for the next couple months. The hope is to bring everyone back eventually, but I'm not optimistic. Solidarity. I'm a web developer. Pretty much the same industry. Fabric decor, projection screens, giant shade structures, etc. I'm optimistic things will bounce back eventually, and I trust my CEO that I will be called back when that happens. He's always been extremely good to all of the employees, and we're good friends at this point, but I'm not optimistic that it will happen within the next few months. They wanted a coworker and I to reduce our hours to half each, because they could only afford one of us and didn't want to make a redundancy. In the end, I took the redundancy. I'm 21 and live at home. Meals provided. My coworker is a 30-year-old homeowner with bills and an unemployed girlfriend. Him losing half his income for me seemed wrong. Better me than hi monsieur. That's the kind of kindness that will get us through this. Wishing you all the best when this thing is over. Just lost it about an hour ago. I'm a restaurant manager and they called me and told me to turn in my keys by the end of the day. I'm in quarantine and can't. They are sending me a UPS box so I can send in my keys and told me to file for unemployment. Never expected this to happen to me. I'm in shock. IDK what I'm going to do. I wonder if it's temporary so you can get unemployment and then they'll hire you back later on. I know of a place that can't afford to stay open but is letting people pick if they want to be laid off or fired, hoping people can game the unemployment better that way. If you are in the UK, the major supermarkets are on a recruitment drive with a fast turnaround of getting people in position. I know this isn't a story about losing a job, but hopefully this helps someone coming to this thread. Not me, but my wife has been told that basically, we'll call you if we need you, and they don't really need anyone tbh. She hasn't worked a minute since the 13th, and my sister was a bartender at an arcade, so she's totally fucked. She's been laid off with the promise of reinstatement when they reopen. It's almost worse to be left in limbo like this than it is just to be fired outright. Construction. The whole construction site was laid off, and with the way things are going, the company owner thinks it'll be at least a year before they consider hiring me back. Started 3 months ago, and that's at least 50 other people affected. Just for this site, the company had several other sites that they laid off employees to. I'm just lucky I'm still living with my parents, and Dad works as online IT for the general public, so he's nice and busy. Edit. Sign everyone and their dog is asking. I'm in Canada, Alberta. The site I was on was shut down by the owner. Beyond that, IDK, and thanks to the bunch of you that offered to help hire. I was kind of surprised at that. Wow, I wasn't expecting construction to be an industry hit this soon from this. I'm a substitute teacher. If you are aware that most schools are closing if they haven't already, then that should explain why all subs are now effectively unemployed. It's unlikely that schools will return during this situation. So yes, thousands of people are out of work just from that alone. Subs don't make salary, so any employee who is hourly or paid by day now needs to scramble. Edit. Because so many people are unsure whether they should file for unemployment or not and are in a similar situation, being a substitute or a different employee that was hourly or a position that was cut due to our current circumstances. Please do. You absolutely can and should file for unemployment. It may take some time with the influx of applications, but this situation is what that government service is for. I extend my best wishes to everyone and their friends and families. I hope you all stay healthy and hold on to hope. Be smart and safe. My experience is pretty unique. In a nutshell, my wife and I live in New Zealand and had planned a 2-year working visa in Toronto. We were supposed to leave in April, so we had obviously already handed in our notices of resignation to our bosses. Long story short, Canada shut its borders and my boss has already hired my replacement. As a side note, they shut the borders on my birthday. Oh wow, that just ruined a whole 2-year plan. Good luck! I worked at Hyatt. I was hired as an intern, fresh out of college for a year. Most of Hyatt's interns were actually internationals from Europe. Hyatt paid us minimum wage, which is crazy once you learn how expensive NYC is. 2 months ago they recently hired a guy from the Netherlands, and just 2 weeks ago another girl also from the Netherlands had just moved to NYC for this internship and had moved to her apartment just last week. 2 days ago HR called us for a meeting and said effective Monday we were no longer employed by Hyatt. They refused to pay us any of our sick or personal days, which I had 7 days worth. For the interns that have recently moved to NYC, HR basically said you're on your own, not our problem, nothing we can do to help. Saul. Being laid off is one thing, but having the HR director tell us that they were not intending in paying any of our sick days or personal days was a slap in the face and a massive dick move. I had intended to work till Saturday, which was my last scheduled day. Since they were not paying my sick days, I just called off my last 3 days so I can at least get 3 sick days paid. Hyatt's saying is we care for people so they can be their best. They really showed their true colors, and I would never work for Hyatt or stay in any of their property for as long as I live. Edit. Didn't expect this to blow up. Just a few things to mention. I'm not trying to cause a riot of any sort. I'm getting paid my accrued vacation only. As some have mentioned, NY doesn't require for sick days to be paid, so I've come to terms with that. Also, this was just my experience. I'm not discouraging the use of Hyatt. Don't let this post be the make it or break it on whether or not you stay at Hyatt. This was just me venting. For the people that have PM'd me asking if I'm okay, thanks. But I will be alright. Good night everyone. Tell this story on our travel. Redditors must stick together. From your story alone, I will avoid Hyatts in my travels. F***CK will never stay in a Hyatt again. I haven't lost my job, but my small software company instituted 30% pay cut across the board. They say it'll be re-evaluated every month. Clients keep canceling or postponing projects, so I'm good this month, but could easily lose it next month. I'm just happy they decided to cut pay instead of fire 30% of the workforce, so everyone can keep their health coverage. That, and I'm not sure I wouldn't have been part of that 30%. My job as a barista was shut down for safety and because nobody is coming in. Anyway, and my summer job, teaching kids how to swim at a sleepaway camp, is cancelled because the camp decided not to open. While I'm not in danger of losing my house or starving, I am now unable to afford to continue going to college next semester. Edit. Somebody gave me gold. I don't actually know what that means since I'm new to Reddit. But I hope whoever gave it, and the rest of y'all, are safe and healthy. I haven't been laid off, but I answer for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, and we are having so many calls where someone is thinking about killing themselves because they were laid off. It's absolutely awful. I have no answers for these people, and I wish I had the power to provide for them. Last hired, first fired. The owner loves me, but she couldn't keep us all on, so it was only fair. My side gig is dog walking, which is fucking slow BC. No one's leaving their houses these days. God bless the biddy whose dogs I walk every day. My girlfriend works for Marriott and basically lost her job. They told her they'll call her when they need the staff again. She tried to apply for unemployment and was denied because Marriott has her as an employee who works 0 hours. So for the time being I'm taking over her financial responsibilities. Cutting somebody's hours to 0 usually counts the same as firing the monsieur, although I'm just now reading that in the UK there are some jobs where it doesn't. 0-hour contracts or something like that. Most unemployment applications are denied on the first request. Appeal it and she will likely be approved. Cutting hours are valid grounds for unemployment. I have just read that 18% of U.S. workers have lost jobs or hours. I would guess it's way more than that. We are one of the few hotels still open in the area and have everyone down to 1 to 3 days. Housekeeping only a couple days a week, for the few people staying. I have 14 shifts instead of 28 for 6 shuttle drivers. 14 shifts for 5 front desk, with me being required to take some of their shifts since there is no way to rationalize me being there at the same time as them, but having to complete higher level tasks. Malls are 80% closed. Stores and restaurants slowly closing down. There is absolutely no way to live in this expensive area on those hours. $1,000 bailout doesn't touch average rent, much less other bills. Shit's bad. Edit. I'll add on. Restaurant is closed. Chef, cooks, dishwashers, bartenders, servers have 0 hours. Training is cancelled. All our new hires to prepare for busy season are cut. If you don't have a different job, you won't. By the time we need you, we'll bring you back. Sales is furloughed. There is no one really for them to sell to. Banquets is dead. One of the most profitable semi-line level jobs in this area. I know people who work hard for a handful of big convention hotels and clear $120K. No banquets anywhere. I will say ownership has taken 2 actions other hotels in the area are not. You can use PTO if you have it. Unfortunately, most of my employees only have a couple days worth. They will pay your employee cost of insurance if you have 0 hours. This is huge. Last recession people with 1 to 2 days had their entire paycheck go to benefit costs, or even ended up owing the company money when they came back. Imagine finally having hours and $1,000 going to back pay your benefits. Manager at a movie theater. I already saw it coming, so it wasn't that shocking to hear. We were only seeing about 200 people a weekday, down from our average of 900. Got called in by the GM and we were told that we were closing indefinitely. It's looking like 6 to 12 weeks. I'm fortunate enough to have enough money saved that it isn't really an issue for me, but it really upset me knowing that a lot of the people who work in the building have no other source of income and scrape by with their paychecks. Fingers crossed it's 6 weeks. Maybe less. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.